Hey guys, for today's video I wanted to talk to you about how to avoid getting into a relationship with the wrong person. I'm sure many of us have ended up dating people and later realizing that they weren't all that great for us. Although at first we like to kind of lie to ourselves and believe that they might be. And a lot of us have probably also been in relationships with people that we shouldn't have been in relationships with. And one of the big ideas here is oftentimes you'll know from the get-go that you kind of shouldn't be in a relationship with this person. It's one of those things where you'll basically be able to tell that it's going to end at some point and that it's not going to end up leading to marriage or anything like that. And yet, we'll still choose to stay in the relationship because of maybe a fear of being alone, or the status that we get with having a partner, or any other myriad of reasons that really aren't worth it in the long run. Because the longer that you stay with someone you're not meant to be with, the more you're going to get hurt. It's much easier to cut your losses as soon as possible. And in my case, I've learned that I like to basically cut my losses as soon as I have the realization that the relationship isn't going to go anywhere. If I'm dating a woman and I know that there isn't going to be a future together with her, then I won't even bother escalating to a relationship. I'll just continue dating her if it's still fun, but I won't tell her that I have any plans of getting into a relationship with her. It's one of those things where if you know it's not going to work out, then you shouldn't get into it in the first place. So here's some tips that you can do or that you can use to avoid this problem. So in the first place, if you're able to recognize that there isn't going to be a future with this person, then start practicing self-love so that you'll be able to handle walking away from them without being completely destroyed over it. I know that oftentimes a lot of us kind of build an identity with someone else, and this can be a bit unhealthy because you really want your identity to be your own. You want it to be solo. You don't want it to be attached to anything except you. You don't want it to be resting on somebody else's shoulders. So the main thing to do is just practice self-love. And I've made some videos on that, but the gist of it is basically you want to start knowing your own worth and knowing who you are enough so that you'll feel comfortable walking away from people who are bad for you. Because when you know your own worth, you'll know that you deserve better. And when you know that you deserve better, you'll walk away from the wrong people. You won't be afraid to leave them because you'll know that although it hurts, you deserve somebody who will actually reciprocate with you and who's a better match for you. I mean, in my past, I've had the trouble of often chasing women, which will almost always lead to them not reciprocating in the way that I do. So that's usually the problem that I would run into in the past. It would be them not reciprocating the way that I am. But nowadays, I've learned that chasing is horrible, so I don't do it. But in general, if a woman isn't reciprocating on the same level that I am, then I don't see any point in trying to progress further with her. I wouldn't even bother getting into a relationship with her. Sure, I may continue seeing her here and there, but I'm going to pull back pretty hardcore because I basically learned that when someone's not reciprocating, you give them space. You let them start to put in the effort to see you, and if they don't, then that likely means that they don't really want to have you in their life, and that's okay. And in that case, walk away, be okay with it. And this is where self-love will come into the picture and will help you be okay with that outcome. When you get down to it, self-love is pretty important for relationships and life in general. It's going to be the root of a lot of insecurities and problems that you'll face in your dating life. So building self-love is incredibly important, and you're going to want to focus on that. It's basically the main thing that's going to help you avoid getting into relationships with the wrong people. You just have to learn to treat yourself better, to have your own back, and you have to learn your worth so that you won't tolerate people who don't see it, and you won't tolerate people that you have to chase. Because you'll know that the right people, they'll be reciprocating. They'll want you as much as you want them. It ties into my video about choosing people who choose you. So, I hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci.